with here, we've got our mirror. It is securely attached, clean, clear, not cracked, not broken. Looking down the side of the bus, no fresh body damage. There are lights up across the top, clearance lights. They're amber up front, and there's a red one in the back. They're clean, clear, not cracked, not broken. And you've got all your windows on your door and down the side of the coach. They're not cracked, not broken, not clean either, but they should be clean. And then coming down here, you've got your wheel skirting. It is securely attached. You've got your mud flap securely attached. And then looking at the wheel, up on the front wheel, it's evenly worn. It must be a virgin tire, no more than 4 32nd tread depth. Coming down and looking at it, you've got your the front of the tire, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. Then you've got your tire rim. You're making sure that it does not have any big dents and no welds in it, no rusting, which would generally be in between the lug nuts if there were. Then you're checking all of your lug nuts to make sure they're tight and there's no shininess. If there was some shiny on the post there, it might indicate that it's loose. Then you've got your hubcap here and your hub seal. You're making sure that there is nothing leaking out of it. So then up underneath, you've got air bellows. And you want to make sure that those are securely attached, they're not cracked, and there's no air leaking out of them. Then you have shock absorbers underneath there. And those shock absorbers, you want to make sure that they are securely attached, there's nothing leaking. They have a little misting on them, that's okay. What you're looking for is oil to be dripping off of it. You don't want that. So then up front here, you have the radius rod arm, which I call the raw, and you're checking that plate and making sure that that plate and the 2 bolts are in place and that there's nothing leaking out of it. Then the things that you cannot see up front, if you could, these coaches don't have springs, but if they did, you'd be checking to make sure that those springs are all there, they're properly aligned, there's nothing missing, no cracks, and that the U-bolts are securely attached. Then the brake system, even though we can't see them, if we could, I check the brake line to make sure that it's attached to the brake chamber. No air leaking out of it. The brake chamber has no fluid leaks. There's no big dents in it. No rocks or pebbles inside of there, which then would go to your push rod, which must be straight, and then to your slack adjuster, which shouldn't have more than 1 inch of play, to your S-cam, to your brake lining pads, which must be evenly worn without any, you don't want to have gravel or rocks inside of there, which would then go to your brake drum, which you can see. You wouldn't want any welds on that, no discoloration, which would indicate overheating, and it would be blue in color. Then coming down the coach, you've got your lights, your hazard turn signal lights. They're amber in color. They're securely attached, clean, clear, not cracked, not broken. You've got your DOT label, which must be visible within 50 feet. Some coaches it's up front, some coaches it's in the back. Then, I'm not sure I can get this up. Yeah, I can. You want to put your locking pin in place. Your arms and your cables are securely attached, not frayed. Going inside of here, you've got a light. You want to make sure that it's on. You can see the reflection of it. There's nothing dripping down from the ceiling. The floor is smooth. There's no buckling in there. There's no suspicious packages, and there's no leftover luggage. Then coming down here, you've got an air line. You want to make sure the air line is securely attached. There's no air leaking out of it. This would be the exact same thing as that one. The difference is you've got an orange reflector that you want to make sure is securely attached. You're checking your light again. And coming over here, you've got your fuel tank and your fuel cap. You want to make sure those are securely attached. Coming inside of here, I can't get this door open all the way, but it is the battery compartment, So you've got your batteries. You want to make sure they're securely attached, that the locking pin is in place, that the caps are securely attached, nothing leaking out of them, that your cables don't have any corrosion. You've got your run-up block, your tire changing equipment, your belt changing equipment. You've got 5 to 7 belts, and you've got 3 emergency triangles that you're looking for there. In this one, the difference is that you've got your breaker bar and you've got your spill kit. Your breaker bar is for changing your tire. It gives you leverage. Coming to the back, the difference is that you can have retread tires back here, and they can be or must be at least 2 30-second tread depths. You also have a hubble meter back here, or hubometer, I'm not sure how you say that. But you do everything on this one that you do in the front. You check everything the same. I'm not going to do it, but you do. The difference is, you say the difference. In your radius rod arm back there is a little bit different. Your plate's kind of on the side. It looks smaller. And then back in the middle, you've got that knuckle, which is your drivetrain. You're checking that too to make sure that nothing's leaking out of it. Back here, you have your red reflector. Those reflectors are on your DOT test. Okay. You're checking to make sure nothing's impeding all of your air vents, anything that air flows through. Coming from the top, you've got your marker lights, your brake lights, your stop lamps, your reflector lamps, your hazard signals, your backup lights. You want to make sure those are all securely attached, clean, clear, not cracked, not broken. And when you start your coach up, you'll be checking and asking for the tester to help you test them. Back here, you're checking there's no fresh body damage. You've got your license plate, it's current. There's a light underneath here. When the coach is on, you can see it. Your bumper is securely attached. Underneath here, you've got your muffler. Kind of reach down with your foot and make sure it's not hanging, it's securely attached. Then you come around to this side. If you've done really well on that side, you only have to do what's different over here. I, of course, always check my reflectors, check for fresh body damage, check my lights, my windows, those things I just look at and make sure they're okay. Your condenser core, you want to make sure it's securely attached. That's where your screwdriver comes in handy. Your reflector, your lights, your DOT label, your mirror. I didn't bring my screwdriver out.